the Bears will have a Super Bowl in the near future. And a 1, and a 2. Bear down, Chicago Bears. Make every play, clear the way to victory. I don't need to sing the whole song, but I just wanted to make the point that the Bears are back. We got draft recap coming up in this video today. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another Touchdowns to Home Runs. First of all, if you're any football fan, whether that be a Bears fan, NFL fan, big fan of a college team, whatever it is, like this video, comment down below, and definitely subscribe. You're not going to want to miss out on some of the content we got in this video. But Bears fans specifically, draft recap. It is going to be an amazing video today because what else? Justin Fields, if you haven't been running around your house, if you haven't been saying the words bear down all weekend, you're not in the spirit of Bears football for the next coming years because it is exciting. Ryan Pace, thank you for making some good moves because it wasn't only Justin Fields, and that's what we're going to break down in this video. Justin Fields wasn't the only good move of this whole draft. Yes, Justin Fields was the main move and what I'm most excited about, but I'm telling you, stacked draft class for the Bears, and we're going to break that down into today. Fields of Dreams shirts are out now for sale, guys. Trust me, these shirts are amazing quality. I have some of my own. Fields of Dreams. Get hyped about Mr. Fields coming to Chicago because Soldier Field, Justin Fields, Fields of Dreams. It's going to be an amazing couple years with Justin Fields. Only $25 and use code Field of Dreams for 11% off your order. That link will be in the bio. Go get yours right now. Let's get into this draft class, man, because what a weekend it was. What a weekend it was for a ton of different teams. A ton of different teams had amazing draft classes, but I think the Bears is really special, and we really hit with what we needed to get. Starting off with our first two picks, I think those are the big two that really make you happy about where the Bears are going with this draft class. Justin Fields, I don't need to go into too much detail about it because we already know all the hype around that. Yes, we trade our first rounder next year to the Giants to move up to get Justin Fields, but I think this is the guy. He's mobile. He's got a very strong arm, and I think he's more consistent than Mitch Trubisky, and I think that that's why we're really hopeful and excited for Justin Fields. Justin Fields has one of, if not the highest ceiling out of all the QBs in this draft class. I've been saying that all week or all couple months leading up to this draft that Justin Fields, no matter, this was even before the Bears getting Justin Fields was even a thought for me. I knew Justin Fields coming in has a insanely high ceiling for this team. Look at him in high school. Look at him at college. He's always doing big things and having big games. You look at the Clemson game in the Sugar Bowl. Massive game there. Torched Clemson secondary. No matter what you say about his schedule going up against the Big Ten this season, which he also had a really good season this year, was a Heisman finalist the year before that. Justin Fields is a legit quarterback, and I'm telling you, the ceiling for this kid is high. Now, it's going to be up to our offensive coaches, and Matt Nagy especially, on how we're going to develop this kid, but it's set in stone that if we're able to develop this kid, he is going to be a star in the NFL. So we have tons of hope and talent and everything riding on Justin Fields, and I was extremely excited about that pick. Obviously, if you watch my draft reaction, which you could click that up there to go check that out, I was thrilled. I was absolutely pumped up about that. It was an unbelievable moment. I'm very excited. But let's get into the second pick of this draft for the Bears because not only do we get Justin Fields, but with the 20th pick that we were supposed to have in the first round, I was looking at offensive linemen, and I thought the Bears were taking Tevin Jenkins in the first round of the draft. Now, I thought he was going to go in the first round of the draft. I thought he was a first rounder for sure, so I didn't even think that he would fall to the Bears somehow in the second round. But the Bears trade up with the Carolina Panthers to snap Tevin Jenkins out of Oklahoma State. First of all, offensive line is the big concern. If anyone's concerned about anything about bringing Fields in, it's that we were bringing him in with a weak offensive line. And we knew that offensive line was something that we had to build on, and that's what we really drafted towards in this scenario. So what we did, grab offensive tackle Tevin Jenkins, who I thought we were going to grab in the first round. Absolutely huge there. Again, just rebuild that O-line. He's a big kid and actually helped out a pretty successful rushing game over there in Oklahoma State with Chuba Hubbard, out from Canada where I'm from, so I love Chuba Hubbard. But Tevin Jenkins, I think, was a great pick. Another great trade up to go get your guy, because when you have a guy on the board that you don't know if he's going to make it to you, and you know that he's going to be the guy that is going to help your team out instead of just waiting back and taking whoever comes to you at whatever pick you have. If you have a guy in mind, go and get him. So I really like the aggression of the first 2 picks there. Next, going on to Larry Borum of Missouri. Larry Roundtree at Missouri also had a very successful rushing game, and I think it's due to Larry a lot because Missouri always went up against very, very good defenses in the SEC, so he's gone up against the best. I think another great pick. So we get our QB out of the way, and then our next 2 picks, we go 2 offensive linemen. Borum's a guard, and then we have Jenkins as an offensive tackle. So 2 great picks there. What about Khalil Herbert out of Virginia Tech? This was an interesting pick for me because going a running back in this scenario, I thought for sure we were going to go cornerback by now. I was really, really looking at Israel McQuamu. Obviously, I'm a big Gamecocks fan, but I thought he was the best cornerback on the board in the 6th round the whole time. And then it took to pick round 6, pick 44 with the Bears to take Thomas Graham Jr. out of Oregon, obviously a cornerback, which Israel McQuamu went literally the pick before that. I thought we were going to take him there. But Khalil Herbert, why do I keep saying Herbert, very interesting pick out of Virginia Tech. How is he going to do in the backfield with Tyree Cohen, who's finally and hopefully going to be healthy this season, with David Montgomery, who's actually one of the better running backs stat-wise in all the NFL last season. Just adding on, and who knows, running backs are so often on whether you could grab a great guy in the late rounds, you could grab a terrible guy in the first round. It just all depends on how healthy they are able to stay and just how little of a liability they are able to be. So running back position, I'm very interested to see how Herbert does this season with the Bears and how much snaps or rushes he will actually give him this season. What about Daz Newsome out of North Carolina? Again, that was a very interesting pick. I had like Seth Williams out of Auburn really circled on my board there for someone I want the Bears to get at the wide receiver position, but I think Daz Newsome fills that hole of, yes, we have Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson is our pass catcher. He's our guy that's going to go deep. He's our guy that's going to catch everything. But Daz Newsome, other than Darnell Mooney, I think we definitely need some more speed on this wide receiver core. So I think Daz Newsome out of North Carolina is a great pick. Him and Dewami Brown from North Carolina paired up really, really nicely at North Carolina. So that was actually a really, really nice pick that I like there. Taking Daz Newsome out of North Carolina, building onto that receiving core and getting Justin Fields some more talent there. Because our wide receiver core, especially that we got A-Rob back this year, it's not going to be that bad. I tell you, this wide receiver core is going to be a lot better than people expect it to be. So, wide receiver core, add on to that, and finishing up with Kyrus Tonga out of Brigham Young, obviously BYU, a actual very successful team in college football this season. If you didn't watch college football this year, obviously they had Zach Wilson taken 2nd overall, but BYU as a whole, especially on their defensive line, had a very successful season, and Tonga played a huge part in that. So I think these are all some amazing picks here. I would have liked to take a cornerback a bit higher. That was my only thing. Again, at that Herbert pick, I was really looking for a cornerback at that point. Again, I don't have any problems with Thomas Graham taking him back at 44, but I would have liked to seen a cornerback taken a bit earlier because I know our secondary. Lose Kyle Fuller this season, lose Buster Screen. Obviously, we need some more corners and some more secondaries. So that was something that I was really looking at, but hit the big targets early on, and I think that is the main emphasis of this draft. Trade up to get Justin Fields, and you go up and grab 2 great offensive linemen. So you're really rebuilding this offense, and I don't know who's going to start at QB. Obviously, I think we all want Justin Fields, but the smart thing to do would probably be start Dalton and let Justin Fields work in the NFL a bit more under him and just get a sense of what the NFL is all about, because we don't just want to throw him into his first game and be like, here you go perform now, and the whole city of Chicago is expecting you to go out and win 17 games this season. So I think that it's best thing that we start Dalton, even though I don't want to. I want to see Justin Fields straight out the gate, but just get him going in. And Justin Fields is our 3rd least paid quarterback on this team, because Dalton is getting like $10 million or something like that, and then Foles is getting $6 million, or those two are flipped. But we're paying a lot at the quarterback position for someone who is not Justin Fields, which is crazy to me. But guys, Fields of Dream shirts in the store now. Get those. Like down below. Comment anything about Bears football. I love hearing what you guys' thoughts are on this draft class, because I think is really, really good, especially with the NFC North clearing up now that Mr. Rodgers is most likely heading down to Denver next season, or he's going to quit and do Jeopardy full time. So the Bears I'm feeling really good about this season in the NFC North. So like down below, subscribe, comment, thank you for watching, and definitely come back next time and bear down as always.